and designer argument. Perhaps we will have time for this, maybe we'll have time for one more argument today, inshallah. So designer argument, what does that say? Designer argument is basically, big philosophers like Plato, Aristotle, they would say that wherever there is a design, there has to be a designer. Does that make sense? Wherever there is a design, there has to be a designer. Is this screen designed? Is it designed? It has to have a designer. Is this table designed? It has to have a designer. So if I was to come in this classroom and if I saw like circles painted on the wall, like spray painted concentric circles, and if I said to you, Subhanallah, कैसे ये खुद ब खुद हो गया? You would say, sir, आप अपना दिमागी तवाज़ुन जो है ना ज़रा check करवाएं, आप सही नहीं लग रहे. Because how can it happen on its own? It can never, even something as small as just circles on the, and it's just one color. You would never assume that it happened by chance. So wherever there is a design, there has to be a designer. Let's look at this example, one of my favorites. What is that? Allah Ta'ala hum sabko naseeb farmaye. Ameen. So this is pizza, and so if I was to come to class, and if I was to find like a pizza here, Allah Ta'ala ye din bhi dekhna naseeb farmaye. If I was to find a pizza here, I can tell you a lot about the one who made it, although I might never have seen this person. I might not even know if it's a guy or a girl, but I can tell you a lot about the one who made the pizza. I can tell you just by looking at the pizza that the person who made it has good nutritional sense, because they've mixed good ingredients. Like for example, if somebody was to mix like on a pizza, they put like salan and doodh with quinoa, I would be like, this guy's crazy. Who in their right mind made a pizza like this? What the hell is this, right? So I would be confused. But if it's a pizza that looks like this, I would be like, you know what? The selection of ingredients is perfect. It's like olives and mushrooms and cheese, and this is great. Very good combination. All the kind of foods that go together is good. Likewise, if somebody was to put a milkshake right next to it, and if that milkshake contained milk and mango or chocolate or something, I would say good. But if that milkshake contains itna sa milk and then salan and then yogurt and chutney, I would be like, this guy's crazy. I mean, what is he thinking? Is this going to go with pizza? This is crazy. So I would know if an intelligent person made this or a fool made this. Number two, if I cut a slice of the pizza and I look at the layers of it, I can tell the person has delicacy in their hands, or nafasat jisme kehte hain. But a nafis slice ne banaya. Very nicely done. And when I taste it, I'm like, wow, this has to be a master chef. The one who made this, I can tell you this person has made pizzas before and made them many times before, because there is excellence in the pizza. It's not like, it doesn't look like a first experiment, that the crust is half burnt, and you can tell this is a professionally done pizza. So although I don't even know if it's a guy or a girl, but I can tell you many of the attributes of the person who made it. If this is my situation in a pizza, what about when I look at the universe? Without knowing who made it, can I not tell you what must be the attributes of the person or the one who made the sun, who made the moon, who made the planets and the galaxies? Can I not say something about that? Right now we're in which city? Islamabad. Islamabad is in which province? Punjab. Punjab is in which country? Pakistan is in which continent? Asia. Asia is on what planet? Earth. You guys know your geography. Okay, so we're on planet Earth. Planet Earth is part of 7 other planets. पहले 8 और होते थे. बेचारा Pluto declassify हो गया, बड़ा अफसोस हुआ. They said Pluto is too small to be called a planet, so no more Pluto. So now we have 8 planets in our solar system. There's Mercury, there's Venus, there's Earth. And so the sun is at the center of the solar system, and so we are all revolving around the sun. Now, the sun is far away. It is so far away that it takes light 8 minutes to travel from the sun to the Earth. Meaning that if right now the sun was to blow up, you would find out 8 minutes later that the sun is no longer there. That's how far away the sun is. And the sun is so huge that you could take, if sun was like a basketball and the Earth was like a bead, you could put 1 million Earths around the sun. That's how big the sun is. It's massive. And so the amount of energy coming from it and the light coming of it is also amazing. If we had been any closer to the sun, we would have burnt. Even 1 kilometer closer, we would have burnt. If we were away from the sun, we would have been frozen over. It would be freezing in here. But the placement of the Earth in relationship to the sun is perfect. You can't take it forward, you can't take it back. If you want to watch more about this, there's a series called The Universe by the History Channel. And there they explain that even just a matter of a few kilometers, here or there, life would have been over on planet Earth. No life. No plants. No nothing. That's how perfect the system is. And so the sun is, although it's huge, it's known as the yellow dwarf. Yellow because of its color, dwarf because of its size. Because there are other stars out there, because the sun is a star. There are many other stars out there which are far greater than the sun. There are, you might have seen that video maybe on YouTube or somewhere, where they do the comparison between the Earth and then they show you the sun, and then they show you a bigger star, and then this big star, and then this big star, and the screen becomes too small, and then the massive star the size of this room compared to this much of the sun, and then something that's even bigger than that. That's all happening in our galaxy. That's all happening in the galaxy. The sun is a dwarf compared to other stars out there. And the closest star after the sun is 4.2 light years away. After the sun, the closest star that we have to us is 4.2 light years away, meaning that the light coming from that star takes 4.5 years to get here. Meaning that if that star was to blow up today, you would find out 4.5 years later. And there are other stars that are millions and billions of light years away. The furthest one is 13 billion light years away. Maybe that star doesn't even exist right now. Maybe it blew up 10 million years ago, but the light is still coming. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when He swears in the Quran, He swears by the position of the stars. The position is there, but maybe the star is not. So this is mind-blowing. There was a research paper from Leeds University that said that the universe was built upon principles of mathematics. The entire universe is built upon mathematics. It is more complicated than a clockwork. You know, if you were to dismantle this watch, you would find a lot of complicated machinery inside of it. Gears and levers and all of these things interconnected, one dependent upon the other, this dependent upon that, the hour hand, the minute hand, the second hand, the date, and all of these all interlinked. And this is very complicated. The universe is like 1 billion times more complicated than this watch. This watch has a designer. The universe? So Leeds University research paper is saying the universe is based upon design. There is design in this universe. If there is design in the universe, my question is who designed it? So whatever it might be, we don't say it's God right now. We say you have to admit, if you have half a brain, that the universe has been designed by someone, because design does not pop out of nowhere. You don't get sophisticated, complicated design coming out of nowhere. This image that you see is the Horsehead Nebula. Horsehead Nebula. If you want to research about this, this will blow your mind. Compared to this, like the Earth is like a speck. This structure that you see of plasma and all of that, this is huge in size, huge, absolutely massive. And this is just a speck out there. And you know the galaxy in which we are, the Milky Way, how many stars it contains? It contains about 350 billion stars. 350 billion. That's, sorry?
And yet it is one of the smallest.
It's one of the smallest. So this, you know, when you look up at the night sky, you see like 350 billion stars. When you look up at the night sky, you see about 350 billion stars. 350 billion, like the sun. Bigger than the sun. 350 billion. But that's just the Milky Way. Right next to it, our neighboring galaxy is the Andromeda. That has about 400 to 450 billion stars. And that galaxy is far bigger than us. And then how many galaxies are out there? Close to about 250 million galaxies in the observable universe. Other than that, we don't know, because there's only so much we can see. We're human beings, we're sitting on planet Earth, lonely little planet Earth, and we can see this much of the universe. What's happening here? No idea whatsoever. No idea. So no matter how technologically advanced we've become, we have not seen, let alone explored, we have not even seen the universe. So you know what they've done? They've basically approximated. They've said if in this cluster of the night sky we can see like 250 billion stars, then maybe multiply this to this much. That's what they've done. Because we even can't see, we don't even know what is beyond that. So this is the size of the universe. And so you look at the size of the universe, you're like, wow, it's amazing. Who makes stuff like that? And just to throw in an Islamic context into this, all of this, you know, the universe compared to the kursi of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is like a ring in a desert, according to the hadith of Prophet. The universe compared to the kursi, the footstool of Allah is like a ring in the Sahara desert. And the kursi compared to the arsh of Allah is like a ring in a desert. Arsh is the throne of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So the footstool compared to the throne of Allah is like a ring in a desert. That's how the size. So it's just, you can't wrap your head around it. It's too big. Just can't wrap your head around it. That's the universe for you. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran, we will show you our signs in the universe, in the afaq wa fi anfusihim, until you believe that this is the truth from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So you look at now yourself, because we see the universe, there is a universe inside of you also. There is an entire universe inside of you. You know your vascular system, your veins, arteries, all of that. If that was taken out, Khuda na khasta, if that was taken out and it was wrapped around the earth, it would go around the circumference of the earth twice. One person's. If your vascular system was taken out of your body and wrapped around the earth, it would go around it twice. The veins and arteries and all of the things that you have inside of you, they would go around the earth twice. That's how complicated. And you know the cells inside of you, there is an entire universe that's happening. There is an entire process taking place all the time. You know, our body is so sophisticated, you get hurt, right, and it heals right back. My iPhone doesn't do that. My car doesn't do that. That somebody comes and takes a chubby and scratches the side of it, and automatically I'm like, no worries, Abu, don't be pareshan, it's okay, it will heal automatically. It doesn't work like that. Likewise, the most sophisticated things we are able to heal in a way that we can't imagine. A few years ago, I broke my foot in 4 places. I went to the doctor, I thought, okay, surely bones can't heal, right? So I went to the doctor and I said, Doctor Saab, what's the cure? He said, if you let it be, it will just heal itself. I was like, what? You mean to tell me that my body, my bones can heal themselves? He said, yes. And he said, pardon me for being crude, but have you ever seen a dog come under a car and then the leg breaks and then the dog in a few months is fine? I said, what are you trying to say? He said, pardon me for being crude. I'm not saying that you are a dog or something like that, but I'm saying that your body heals the same way. And I was like, wow. You know, that day was the first time I felt like Wolverine. You guys know Wolverine? Yeah. You have to go and make istighfar, inshallah, when you go home. Okay, so Wolverine is a person from the X-Men, right? And what happens to him? If he gets hit by a bullet or anything like that, it pops out and he heals automatically. So you might not heal as fast as the Wolverine, but you do heal. And so when we look at Wolverine, we're like, wow, that is such an awesome, superpower to have. You all have that superpower. The difference is he heals in 5 seconds, you heal in 2 months. But still you heal. And that itself is amazing. The fact that I can heal without any external influence whatsoever. Even if I get cut and even if I don't bandage it, my white blood cells already are triggered off and they start to do the work automatically. Yes, bandage helps to heal it quicker and faster and all of that. But even if I don't have that, people are out there on the battlefield, they get hurt, they get bruised, they get wounded, and after a while they become fine. How is this happening? This is the system that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created. And so you look at your eyes, you look at your hearing, you look at your processing unit that you have, each and everything is amazing. You know, there are many people who come to Islam by looking at the human body. They, for example, doctors, when they operate, they look at it, they're like, subhanAllah, we do not know how even this works. This is so complicated. This mechanism is so complicated. Who could create something like that? And then there are others like myself who were in the IT field. And I was a person who was a programmer. I would program computers. I would program robots with artificial intelligence. And you know, we would create a robot. I remember when I was in the UK, we had a project on creating a robot. So my team was doing the project on robot vision. So we had to just worry about giving the robot vision. So basically, a robot should be able to identify between an apple, an orange, a tennis ball, a cricket ball, a golf ball, a glass which is circular or a paperweight, and things like that, and an egg. So we had to just train the robot to be able to identify between these objects and recognize them to be different objects. That's all. That it doesn't look at the orange and the tennis ball and say both are the same. It needs to know, no, this is different, this is different. So we had to just make it think that way and learn that way. Other teams were taking care of the motion of the robot in order to grab these objects. So once we identify that the brain is telling the eyes that this is an apple or an orange, now the mechanical arm, the team that was working on the mechanics of it, would actually go out and exert X amount of force on that object. So if it's a tennis ball, then you need to go X. If it's a cricket ball, you need to squeeze a little more because it's heavier. If it's an egg, you need to be very gentle. Even in that process, so many eggs were broken, so many things were dropped because it just couldn't get it right. Sometimes you squeeze the egg too hard, sometimes too soft, and it slips anyway. So the thing is, to teach a robot to do that, it took us different teams working under PhD professors to create a clumsy little robot who couldn't even walk. And the team that had to make it walk, they put wheels on it just to make it easier. So it's remote controlled, it has wheels, like like a tank, it has treads. So it has got treads and it's going along and making the weird sound as it's moving along. But the problem comes as soon as it encounters stairs. Now it's stuck. So that expensive piece of machinery can't even climb 3 stairs. So they said, okay, lose the treads, let's give it legs. So they gave it 4 legs. And now what happens is, as the robot begins to move, it's moving like a dog. And every time it lifts a leg up, it has to balance and act a counterweight, so the other leg goes up as well to balance it out. It is the most awkward moment you can ever imagine. And if the stairs, now here we have wide stairs. But if you give it tight stairs, that robot is not going anywhere. Because in wide stairs, like in an auditorium or a classroom, it can climb up. But you give it tight stairs like you might have in the corridor somewhere, those stairs it cannot climb. Because it goes 1 step, 2 step, and then it slips back and it's really a mess. So they try to give it 2 legs to make it more like a human being and all. And so much money is being put into this little robot. And when you give it 2 legs, it's now got hydraulics. Now this is like some Robocop type robot being created. And so it's got hydraulics into its legs, like actually acting like muscles. And so when the robot picks up a leg, it goes, it moves like that. And so every time it moves, it has to pick its leg up, it has to throw the arm back to act like a counterweight. So the motion is so awkward, it's like this, and then like this. It's so crazy. You look at it, you think this robot is retarded or something. That's what you think. But then this robot climbs up and still it falls and fumbles and all of these things. And subhanAllah, when the project was done, 4 PhD professors and a group of 20 students finally made this clumsy little piece of machinery. And yet at the same time, you have a child who's born, a boy who's 2 years old. He can jump and run and skip and hop and identify between objects and throw them in the air and catch them and run around, and you won't be able to catch him. He can go up the stairs, down the stairs, even slide down the barrier next to the stairs. He'll do all of those things. He can go underwater, out of water, all of these things. And yet the robot is designed by leading scientists of the UK. And yet this boy, self-healing, right? This baby Wolverine is a freak accident, a chance, hard to believe. You see, my shirt here is designed. Agreed? Somebody designed it. Have you ever seen a peacock? Have you ever seen the feathers of a peacock? Which is more complicated in terms of design, the feathers of a peacock or my shirt? The peacock, right? This is simple, just a t-shirt. But the peacock's feathers are complicated. This shirt for sure has a designer. What about the peacock? Right? So this is, when you say, koi to hai jo nizam-e hasti chala raha hai. When you look at the science around you, it doesn't take much. And that's why I'm saying people in like 4000 BC, like Plato, 2000 BC, Plato, Aristotle, they were convinced of the fact that this universe is being run by someone. And so Plato, Aristotle, they did not believe in Greek mythology. They did not believe in Zeus and Apollo and all of these. They did not believe that because they were intellectuals. They said it can never be that gods are fighting amongst one another. If that was the case, then the universe would be chaotic. But it's not a chaos. You wake up, it's sunshine, it's rain, it's clouds, it's a beautiful lake, it's mountains. There's no chaos. If there is any chaos,